Hey there, I'm Rob Sternberg, and this is WSU Uncensored. Let's start at the top, shall we? Yes. Mercedes Martinez is the WSU World Champion. She is the heart and soul of women's wrestling in this country, and an instant favorite of anyone who has ever seen her. Many point to her work ethic, others point to her personality.
If I want to go out there and laugh, I'm going to go out there and laugh. If I want to punch you in the face, I'm going to punch you in the face. I'm real. I don't have a character. I'm Mercedes, and that's it. What you see is what you get. Well, I was always a fan. Everyone always starts as a fan. You know, you watch it, you wrestle. I grew up with 3 brothers, and then I had a younger sister, but I was mostly a tomboy playing sports all my life. And I was actually going to college playing basketball on a scholarship, and I got injured. So I needed something to kind of keep myself occupied in a physical, challenging way, and wrestling kind of found me. I didn't want to become a professional wrestler. I didn't want to do none of that. It just, one day I walked into a gym and there were people wrestling. I was like, oh, let me try it. And I haven't left since. When I first started, I only wrestled men. There was no women wrestlers in pretty much this area when I first started. And I was trained with guys, wasn't trained with girls whatsoever. So I wrestled guys for probably the first year. I was getting hit hard like a man. They didn't care if I was a girl or not. They hit me hard. I was trained by Jason Knight, he's from ECW. I had Boz Mahoney help me out, Angel Orsini. A lot of the ECW crew, just incredible. All of them actually came through that ring and helped train me. When I first started, I had to watch a lot of Japanese wrestling, a lot of Mexican wrestling, Puerto Rico stuff, because the Americanized wrestling is a lot different than what you see in Japan and Mexico. When I was trained through ECW, they wanted to make sure that I stood out with my style of wrestling, so I had to incorporate all different styles. So my training was cardio, lifting weights, then ring time, and then an hour of studying. He will pop in a tape, and I would study that match and literally tell him every single point of that match. This is my life. I've done it for 10 years, had surgeries, injured. You have no social life. This is what I want to do. Take it seriously. We take it to the point where it's our life. And a lot of the girls coming up, they're not taught that. They're not taught. They're just going there and they're fluffs and divas and ballets, which is fine if that's what you want to do. But we always try to separate the athletes from those girls who just want to be ballets. If you want to step in the ring with a wrestler, like someone like myself, you better make sure you know what you're doing. Because if not, I will make sure that everything in that ring is not fake. It's not as fake as it is in that ring, as people perceive it to be. I take my craft very seriously. I put my body on the line in their hands, literally. When they're going to give me something or they're going to punch me, I'm going to make sure, you know, hey, you punch me hard, I'm going to punch you just as hard. And then once the women wrestlers started coming up, it was more of the TNA aspect, the divas and, you know, sex appeals, and I'm not one of those. I go in there and I perfect my craft, which is wrestling, and within a couple of years, the last couple of years, it's actually been like that. Now we get respect, and we're not out there to show our bodies anymore. We're out there to actually show our skills, you know, just like the men do. Going out there and seeing the crowd and how they react, it gives you that rush that a lot of people don't have anymore. That adrenaline rush just to go out there and perform, whether it's 2 people out there or thousands of people. You know, it's just performing and that rush and just that heart and that passion. You know, that's what I have for this business now. I literally gave up socializing and family time to travel on the weekends and travel overseas and then put back my career, you know, my real life career for this. And 10 years later, I'm still doing it, and, you know, it's just my heart. I love this business, and I don't think I would ever quit it.
Mercedes has a few tough battles coming up. Last month, Alicia won the Women's J-Cup, which means she'll challenge Mercedes for the gold on June 26th. And here's what she had to say about it. Alicia admits she has nothing but respect for the champion and even says Mercedes is the best, but she guarantees not only an iconic performance, but a victory as well. Something very interesting on the horizon. As most of you know, the WSU athletes are always hard at work, and even if they're not competing at WSU events, WSU does still sanction matches on other cards. And later this week in Queens is something special. Mercedes Martinez is going to actually team with Alicia to take on Brittany Savage and Velvet Sky. Handling the officiating in that one is Tracy Brooks. Also at the beginning of June, a matchup of two-ring veterans, Jana squares off against Angel Orsini. And one last thing before we go, Awesome Kong, who has been involved in a lot of controversy recently, is going to make her return to WSU on the June 26th card. There she'll take on Rain, and Rain isn't too happy about it. She thinks she should be world champ and promises that Kong isn't going to have it easy. And just for insurance, bringing along her tag partner, Lacey. Alright, that's it for this edition of Uncensored. Next time we'll take an uncensored look at the Uncensored Rumble taking place on June 26th. Once again, I'm Rob Sternberg, and I'll see you then. Want more? Go to IntersectTV.com to connect with the world of sports. Real-time updates, blog postings, and all the action you can handle. Intersect. IntersectTV.com, connecting you to the world of sports.